What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bold Voices. I'm Angela Bel Camino. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us tonight. Please go ahead and pound that like button, share, repost the stream, subscribe over on YouTube. It is gonna be a bold night. It's about to get bold up in here. We want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. So let's get that chat moving. Please put any questions, comments, whatever you got. We want to keep that chat lit. I will read through the comments. I will bring them on the screen. You do not want to miss this night. It's going to be spicy. So join us, chat with us, all the jazz. I'm so pumped for this one, guys. It's going to be good. Again, thank you so much for being here. I want to welcome with the warmest of welcomes, our regular Thursday panelist, Hannah Griff, and our super special guest tonight, Joe Redden, aka the older millennial, aka at Team FU Joe. What's up, guys?
You're muted, Joe.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was a phenomenal start right there. That's generally how I start things, so it's probably not going to get any better. But thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to have you. Hannah's excited to have. The last I talked to you, although obviously we interact on socials, whatever. But the last I talked to you was a very memorable space on X, which. I mean, what is happening with time? It was like well over a year ago now, which is wild. But for some reason got heated, obviously not between us, but it was heated. It was very memorable. And then now I just moved to Florida and we're basically kind of neighbors.
Absolutely. It's good to have you in Florida. But for the rest of you, just if anybody else is thinking about it, we're full. We're full. She had prior residence here. It was fine. We welcomed her back. But if you've never been here, we're full.
Yes, I know. That's what I told Joe. I have to keep telling people, no. I didn't just move from New York. I was born and raised in Florida. Like I'm coming back home. This is my home. I'm not invading.
Yes, yes, we are welcoming former Floridians and big booty goth girls. That's all we're allowing in Florida right now. Anything else, you cannot come.
So I kind of was just in your neck of the woods. Memorial Day weekend, I went to Tarpon Springs and I had a pretty incredible boat adventure. I seem to recall during our conversation last time that you either have a boat or you go out in a boat often. Am I making
no. So I don't own a boat. I don't own a boat because the only thing better than having a boat is having friends with boats.
Yes.
Right? Like it's the way cheaper option. Or I rent a boat. No, I don't own a boat, but I do try to get out on a boat at least twice a month. Although I gotta say, don't ever take a boat out by yourself. It may be the most depressing thing you can ever do in your life.
Really?
There's nobody to talk to, and you're literally on a boat enjoying yourself and you're just lonely. Like don't do that. Don't do that. Go with other people. But generally, if you just say, I have a boat, it fits 10 people and I'm filling it with alcohol, people just spawn like a video game.
Yeah. It's like if you build it, they will come. Like you say it and the people, I mean, I would be there for sure.
That's how it works. Now, and that's why I can't live in a state that doesn't have the ocean. Or at least a really big lake that makes me feel like it's the ocean, because like dry land is it's some boring shit.
Yeah, I definitely, growing up by the beach and stuff in Florida, the beach is kind of being on the water, on the ocean is like my happy place. So it is hard being in New York and not getting, whatever. It's a special thing that everyone needs in their life, I think.
I agree. I think it reduces depression. Boats reduce depression.
Yeah. And I mean, after spending 13 years in New York City with very long, brutal winters and seasonal depression and all of that, can't express how much enjoying the warm weather, the sunlight, just the brightness, all of that. So
I got to be real. I do not understand the attraction of New York. I don't get it. Like, look, if I was rich, I would visit often to do bougie things, but I just don't like people always say like, what's the joke where they say, what's really awesome if you're rich and really, really ghetto if you're poor. And they say Florida, but it is New York. Like if you're rich in New York, you are going to all the things. You're wearing tuxedos on a weekday. It's wild.
Going to the Met Gala.
Exactly. Where you get to hate on the rich somehow. Well, but regardless, but Florida, you could be poor and still have a really great time in this state.
I mean, even that makes me think about just commuting in New York, right? People who have cars or they get a car service or they get an Uber and that takes them from, but when you have to like trek in the winter through the subways and doing that, it's a whole, but it is very character building. So I am thankful. I mean, I'm proud of myself having made it 13 years there. That's kind of insane. And it definitely strengthened me. So I am grateful for that. And a lot of things that I wouldn't have experienced if I never left Florida. So there.
What was it Frank Sinatra said? If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is some sense of accomplishment and value in that. And again, very character building and things like that. So, okay, enough about me and New York. And okay, I would love to, for the people that don't know, kind of start off just a little bit about who you are, your journey, evolution. When you originally started your social media content, what was it like? And was it a shift to being more political commentary? What was that journey like for you?
So I really started doing politics out of spite. It was pure spite. So when I started on social media, I used to work on Wall Street. I evaluated foreign businesses for U.S. investment. That was what I did. My MBA's in strategy. I was very business. I wanted to be the guy that wore suits every day and worked on Wall Street. COVID hit, and I really just got bored and started yelling at my phone. At the time, I was a younger dude, newly divorced, trying to bang everything that walked. So I started doing relationship content, and basically my whole thing was helping women understand how men thought. Because my thought process was, I don't understand women. I can't help you with that. But I could tell you how men think. I could give you an honest answer about how men really think about things. And it blew up. I had, I think, 1.5 million followers in 6 months. Everything was going really well. And then the election rolled around, and I made one political video and got banned. And I was like, that's a fluke. So I created another account, went back up to like 1 million or so, and got banned again for a political video. So I legitimately started doing political content out of spite, because I was like, well, you don't want me to do it. Like I'm the classic kid that don't push that button. I'm pushing the button. So and then I just kind of stayed with it as a niche. I think there was enough people doing relationship content that I didn't need to do anything. And enough people giving very terrible information that they weren't going to listen to me. And so I just stayed doing it. And somehow this has become what I do. Like I had no intentions of doing this. I really, really love doing it. And I'm thankful to be able to make enough that, that I get to do this. So, I mean, I'm very thankful to everybody who has my back on it and how it's gone. And I think it's just wild that I'm even able to do this.
That's incredible. What's up, Steph? You probably know Steph. Steph's saying,
I do.
Joe.
Steph is one of 3 people that have already read my book.
Ooh. Yes, a little plug for the book. We definitely want to promote that. When is it coming out? When is it available?
I should receive all the copies within a month.
That is super exciting. You're inspiring me because, and here we go. We got some promo. I have it's fantastic. So I've heard, Steph, that's what I've been hearing. So I'm super excited to check it out. I aspire to write a book. I've started to. They're on the back burner at the moment, but it is a dream, a goal I have to hopefully write a book at some point.
I highly recommend it. It's even look, no matter the quality of the book, it is a very therapeutic exercise.
Yeah. What was your how was it therapeutic for you? I'm just curious, like what, in particular.
So when I wrote it, I was in Afghanistan. So I actually had deployed, and for the first 6 months of the deployment, it was supposed to be a 6-month deployment. I went there, we did what we were supposed to do, and we were ready to go home. And then the guys that were going to replace us, they just didn't come. So they were like, "Hey, you're here for another 6 months." And we didn't have a tactical job anymore. So we all got stuck in admin stuff, which is not something we were used to. So I got stuck working in what's known as a ComSec vault, basically sitting on my ass all day, doing nothing but working out and sitting behind a computer. So I was like, I'm going to use this time. Let me see if I can write a book. And I just started working on it, and it made the time. It made the time where you just be sitting there go very, very fast, and it was just it made the deployment so much easier.
What genre Steph wants to know, although I'm
No, this is for
asking
you.
for the
So
audience.
what genre you're going to?
Oh, me. She's I thought she was like saying it for the audience of what yours was, but no, mine is more of a memoir. So not fiction. It's based on, both of them are more memoir related. One I started was about moving to New York and having a whole different experience, and kind of meant to be about whatever, going there and it taking on a whole other. I got involved in TV and film, which I wasn't expecting. And so all this stuff that if I hadn't have made that decision, I would have never had all these experiences. So it meant, because a lot of times people get stuck, I think, and they feel like, oh, I can't possibly do this thing, but they have goals, they have dreams, they have aspirations, and they don't do it. And it's like, would you rather live with the regrets? And so that kind of a thing. So I started that, but then COVID hit. So then it kind of wasn't like, you can do whatever you want.
When it came back to Florida, we were doing whatever we wanted.
True, right? So it felt very depressing being in New York, living that, and it didn't feel like the time. And so then I sort of shifted into, I have one that's more about toxic families and toxic relationships based on personal experience with my family. I don't know if you know this, but my background is in mental health. So anyway, so it's meant to, so I'm that's the one I'm the furthest along in, but I feel a little bit tricky because I'm sort of like am trying to repair some relationships with my family. And so now is like a weird time for it. If I were to try to like release it, it would be a bit of some drama.
So you went from helping mental health to pissing everyone off. Now I gotta say, Hannah, you're kind of on the hook now. You got to write a book.
I actually was gonna say I do. That's my dream, is to write. I'm a paralegal by trade and do the political stuff on the side, but it really started by writing. So I've always been a writer. I mean, ever since I was little, my grandma really fostered that in me. So I was illustrating picture books and writing picture books when I was like a little tiny baby. But I would love to. I actually have a couple on the back burner as well, memoirs. My family dynamic is very complicated. And I don't have a relationship with my mom. So I think that's kind of a unique, difficult situation for, a woman to go through.
Ooh, we need to talk about this more, because that's my situation also.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just now talking to my mom after 8 to 10 years of not talking.
Oh, wow.
So that it was a lot about her and how it affected, and I wasn't talking to my brothers because of it, because it was a very like, you're on my side and whatever. It was a lot of brainwashing, a lot of toxic stuff in the family dynamics. So
yep.
See, my parents are amazing. I just don't communicate with them because I'm very bad. Like my entire family, and when I say my entire family, I mean every single person that we know to be a member of our family in any way lives within 30 minutes of each other, except me. So I just don't, like, my dad calls me and I'm like I love my dad, but I also hate phone calls. So it's like You guys, the sad thing is I probably have huge gaps in communicating with my family, but not because they suck in any way, just because I suck in communicating.
Well, everyone can relate to all of this because everyone's families and situations, there's even things in common with all of it. So I do think that's what's so cool about speaking about it and, talking about it, putting it out there is that people, whatever, they can relate to it and it helps them and they can share. And I think it connects us. So it's important for everyone to sort of tell their story and connect us all. Steph said, Joe's book is a literal escape from life. It consumed about 3 straight days of my life. That sounds lovely.
I'm so excited to read it.
I appreciate that. So here's what I'll do. Here's what I do. I will send a digital copy to both these ladies before anybody else sees it. So you will now be 5 people that have seen the book. Yes. And then if it sucks, just don't mention it.
You got it.
I know it's not going to suck.
What book?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What I need Hannah to do is say, he never said it to me. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
No, I'm sure I'll love it. Sounds actually exactly up my alley. So I'm really excited.
It was, I can tell you, it was, like I said, it was more the exercise of writing it. Like I would tell you, anybody out there who has something they want to put down on paper, write it. Like, don't try to plan it out. Don't do an outline. Don't like, outline is later. Like, I wrote it just pure, shit that came to my head. I put on paper and I wrote it out. And then I went back later and was like, oh wait, I said he was blonde. And then I said he had brown hair and I had to fix a bunch of things. But the therapeutic aspect of just getting the stories out of your head and getting them, the arguments that you have in your head and then getting it onto paper or onto a computer screen in modern day was unbelievably helpful.
Yeah, I think that's incredible advice. I think the hardest, people get so paralyzed sometimes by just starting it and like being like, so it's just sort of, like just whatever, I can't think of the words right now, but yeah, just writing it and don't judge it. Don't just get it out.
You have to write the first draft like nobody's going to read it. That's been like the most helpful thing to tell myself is like, okay, I have to write this as if like nobody's going to read it, because if you start reading it or writing it through like how people are going to perceive it or through your audience's perspective, that's when you like, okay, this sucks. And like, I'll never
100% never write a book for anyone else. Write a book for you. Write a book that you want to read. Like, and the benefit is that if nobody ever reads it and you just enjoy doing it, who cares? Like, and if somebody else happens to like, because I tell people with this is social media all the time, they're like, well, how do I start? And I'm like, just start. Because like, you have to understand that no matter how weird, no matter how niche, no matter how just absolutely strange what you want to talk about is, I guarantee you there's a couple million people that are just as weird, probably weirder, who are going to be interested in hearing. It's the same thing with a book. Like people think like bestsellers are tough. To have a bestseller, you have to sell 5,000 books. That's not even that high. Like, I have 4.5 million followers across all social media. So I need what 0.001% of those people to like the book for it to be a bestseller. It's a far easier gap to get through.
Well, I saw a really good question to kick it off with. Is there such a thing as winning in politics these days?
No, I mean,
either way, most lose.
Politics is a war that you can win battles in. Like, it's not politics is a war. It is a forever war of ideals that is forever shifting. Because like, what was the right 10 years ago? Like, a good example, Donald Trump's not a conservative. Donald Trump is a 90s Democrat. That's all he is. Now, had Donald Trump ran for office in the 90s, he would have been in the Democrat Party because all of his policies fit what they said back then. He runs in 2020. He's or 2016. He's now a hardline conservative by that definition. But there's nothing that comes out of Trump's mouth that I can't find you a Democrat in the 90s who said the exact same thing. Like, he's a classical liberal. But so there is no winning because it is the ultimate form of the goalpost moving. Like and it's not just moving slow, it's hauling ass. Like they are running with it. So no, there's no winning, mainly because most politicians suck. Um, but yeah, you can't win.
Yeah, I agree with so much of what you said. You got a whole squad here, Joe, and we're so happy that you're here. It's nice to connect with you all. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's right. Like, I guess that's kind of how I see myself. Like, obviously, I've been going as the bold lib for a while, and um, it's just things have gotten so crazy on the left and so extreme and so radical. And I've now been canceled for not subscribing to the echo chamber and being like, hey guys, should we really be vandalizing Teslas? And I don't think that the Elon thing was actually a Nazi salute. And then they're like, oh my God, what happened to you? You're MAGA now. And like just being able to be like, I'm going to root for Trump. I'm going to root for the country because I don't want it to fail. Like these all seem like very reasonable things to say. And so what I've sort of learned is that I am sort of more a classic liberal. So that is interesting because everyone is so angry at me right now for not just like bashing Trump all the time. And I'm like, I don't see how that's helpful. And if anything, I'm more like checked out and like, I'm calling it out on both sides. And I'm just like, all of it is disgusting to me. And I'm just like, who do you trust? Like, I don't know what to think. I'm just like, I don't know. So many of us right now that we're having conversations with feel disconnected, almost like ready to throw in the towel and just be like, I don't believe in any of it.
But that's the reality is you have to understand that the people you're fighting you're not fighting people who listen to what you had to say. You're fighting people who created an image of you in their minds. And that is the image they're fighting against. Like I do lives where people come up and they say, you just sign off on anything Trump does. And I was like, I didn't support bombing Iran. I don't support US involvement in the conflict. I don't like foreign aid. I'm against a ton of the shit Trump has done. And I criticize him for it publicly. I make videos criticizing him. But the benefit of that is when I see them come in and say things like that, I recognize they're not fighting against me. Like they don't have a problem with me. If they had actually seen my videos, they would have no beef with me.
Yeah.
So they are creating against this false creation that they've made that of who I am. And they're doing the same thing with you. Where they just say, this is what I think Angela believes. And they completely forget that you say what you believe. And they're going to rage against that. So once I realized that people weren't fighting against me, they're fighting against some fake image they have of me, it makes the argument so much easier because I can write them off so easy.
Yeah, I mean, preach. And the chat is going wild because but that's such great points and helpful for anyone to keep in mind, as I think so many of us are dealing with the negativity and the trolling and the name calling and the nastiness, etc. It's so true. They don't really know me. They're not taking the time or bothering to ask the actual questions or understand, like you said, they're not listening to they won't listen to this entire live stream. They'll hear a clip and then they'll spin it. And then there's all the rhetoric too that gets people amped up and all this, I guess too, with like, mainstream narratives and all of that going to now, it's hard not to be cynical with everything, right? It's just, you're so skeptical now so yeah, I don't even know at this point, like I love balance and I try to like keep hope alive, but sometimes it's hard.
But it also helps if you just assume everybody's stupid. Like
is that your approach? Okay.
That's my especially on X. Like I assume everyone is fucking idiot. And then I hope for like little glints of intelligence of people saying smart things. But generally I just get you only posted this because you're being paid $7,000. You're a Zio Jew lover, or like, and so it's personal insults, which like, here's the thing. If you revert to personally insulting me, I won. Like, and but the benefit of X is that I get to be petty too. Because I get to say stuff on X that I can't say on a lot of other platforms. And I mean, I think I mean, you can't say what you say on X on TikTok. Let's put it that way.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I've
And like
definitely,
Steph said, Joe's an equal opportunity criticizer. Guys,
yeah,
I shit on everyone. Like, but I will
I
promise you in
appreciate.
real life, I'm a lovely person. I don't fight, I don't debate, I don't argue in real life. I get it all out online.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you a little bit about the older millennial brand
Mhm.
identity. And and then also kind of comment on, like, obviously a lot of people have connected to your content and sort of, ask you, why you think that is. But I guess the first question is kind of like where the older millennial kind of brand and identity came from, and what does it mean to you beyond sort of like a generational label. I know we made a joke last time where I'm like, Jerry, I'm a geriatric millennial.
No, but the reality
Everything
is
for
that
me is geriatric. It's really,
no, but
it's a
rock
tough
with it. You gotta
hurdle.
rock with it. I know people that are the angry old Gen Z and things like that. Like to me, it was I started out as Team FU Joe because my name is Joe and I used to own a bunch of gyms. That's what I did when I got out of the army. And I trained some very high level athletes. I trained a couple of Olympic athletes, CrossFit Games athletes, and they said my training that was hell that I was trying to kill them. So they created the hashtag Team FU Joe to be like, yo, fuck this guy trying to do this, telling us our programming. So I turned it into an apparel company, an equipment company, a supplement company. I turned it into an entire brand. So when I got on TikTok, I was just like, I'll rock Team FU Joe. That's what we'll go with. And then after I got banned and banned and banned over and over again, I think I was at 42 bans at this point. And Fox, I was on Fox, and the guy that I was being interviewed by suggested I change my name. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And I, for some reason, thought of the older millennial just because for the longest time I thought I was Gen X. And then I realized I was a millennial and I was like, well, I'm an older millennial. It's a little different. So I went with that name and it just kind of stuck and kind of became the brand. Um, I am transitioning out of that just because I've been I I've been doxxed so many times, even by Fox. Like Fox News was like, "Do you want to be called older millennial Joe Redden?" I said, "I prefer older millennial at the time." And they were like, literally came up and she goes, "Oh, we got the older millennial Joe Redden here." And I was like, "Oh, that was helpful. That was cool." But I mean, I literally have people that drive by my house and take pictures of me and do super weird shit. So I was just like, I don't need the brand anymore. I think it's more the message. So I'm slowly transferring out of that.
So I love your content, and it seems to me that a lot of people connect with it. I mean, I have my own ideas, sort of, well, like, at least some of, I guess what I want to say is we talk a lot, like I've had a lot of conversations with people about authenticity and realness and genuineness, and I think that we're valuing that more than ever, and I think that you're really able to reach people and connect with people when you are that, right? There's just so much, and you are that. You're very real. It's like talking to a friend who's just telling, it's not this like fluff, like BS nonsense. Like I feel like you come across as like, yeah, like, so I think that's, I don't know, for me, I think a really cool thing that you have. What do you think has also been sort of a reason why people connect with you and your content and your
Well,
message?
well, I couldn't agree with you more. I tell people all the time that authenticity is the currency on social media. Because like I'm sure all of us have people we followed on TikTok, especially is like I think the greatest example is couples content. Right? We've all had these couples we follow, and they started out doing genuine stuff about their relationship. And then it started to being scripted. And you could
Mm.
easily tell it was scripted. You could tell they weren't being authentic and it changes your opinion of them. It changes the way you look at them. And I think being like being on social media or at least being popular on social media, you are going to expose you. Like you is going to bleed through no matter how much you fake it. The real you is going to bleed through. So why try to pretend to be somebody else? Be who you are. I promise you, no matter how weird you are, there's millions of people who are just as weird, if not weirder. Rock who you are. And I think that's really helped me because I've never like you'll never find me doing something I don't believe in. You'll never find me talking about stuff I don't like. A great example was just recently. I did a review. I was paid. I labeled it as a paid partnership to do a review of the new Animal Farm. Right?
Mhm.
The highly Tim Pool fucking hated it. And I love Tim. I got no issue with Tim. But I was paid to review the movie. I wasn't paid to give it a good review. I was paid to review it. And I like the fact that they criticized crony capitalism in it. Like they weren't criticizing capitalism, they were criticizing the bullshit version that we're rocking now that's taking advantage of the American people. And I was like, I love that you've updated it to recognize that shit's not going the way it should be, that we're not doing it the way we should. And that caught me all kinds of hell from like Tim posted about me, I think 7 times in a row. Like this is a dude I've been on his show. He's a wonderful person. I love the guy. He shit on me hard. But here's the reality. It's not going to change my opinion. Like I thought what I thought about the movie.
Yeah.
And was it a good movie? No, it's not. It's not fucking Citizen Kane. It's not high theater, but I liked what it did. And the people that were upset about that, like they kept coming at me, and I was like, I do have to let you guys know, no matter how upset you get, my opinion won't, because my opinion is not based upon you whining like little bitches on the internet. My opinion is based on what I think, and it's never going to change. And I think I at least won some points for that because I was like, I don't care. Tim can criticize me all he wants. I'm not changing my mind.
As you should. I think, more people need to be thinking for themselves these days. Like
That's crazy talk. That is crazy talk.
I know. I said it. I said what I said. I know no one wants that to be said out loud, but there's just too much trying to fit things into boxes and labels. And I know now it's like, if you question anything, like you're, a monster, whatever. So,
Well, that's why I love the argument when people are like, oh, there's a war going on the right. I love the war because we made our tent too big. We, as conservatives, we made our tent very large, and we ended up with communists and groypers, which are, by the way, if you're a groyper, I sincerely hope something very bad happens to you. But like we opened our tent to everyone and we accepted too many people, and we have to have this war because we have to decide what's actually conservative.
Bold Voice is back with another reality check episode. I love it. We do love to keep it real in here. We love to keep it bold. That's also a reminder. The chat, you're killing it. If you have questions for Joe or Hannah, for that matter, please feel. But I feel the love from your crew up in here, Joe. You guys rock, and we're so happy to have you. Thank you so much. Just checking a minute. Yeah. So that kind of brings me a little bit to we've talked a lot kind of lately about people who sort of identify as being politically homeless right now, right? Like there's a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, myself kind of included, that kind of feel a bit like disconnected, like they're not politically represented right now. Does that resonate with sort of what you're seeing with your audience and conversations that you're having, that people feel like mainstream politics right now aren't really speaking to them, aren't really representing where they're at?
Well, I feel like everybody online is, I mean, it's extremely tribal. Like everybody wants to belong to a group. And I think people are finding that the politically homeless, the danger in the politically homeless is that they can be won over with very little things. Like if you're going to be politically homeless, it needs to be because you're principled. Like you can't be politically homeless because you're looking for what's popular, which a lot of people are doing, because as we come up to any election, people are always wanting to be in the winning side. So as you roll into an election, people are wondering who's going to win, which side do I pick? And that should never be the argument. The argument should be, what do your principles tell you? Who do your principles tell you to support? Support those people. And if they lose, that's fine. because you're not changing who you are. But so many people allow their opinions to be changed by whether or not they feel like they're going to be in the winning group. And that destroys your credibility, destroys who you are. And I'm sure we could probably spend an hour naming people that are just completely full of shit online. Like, we know them. We all know them. We've met them. We've unfollowed them because we thought they were cool at first. And then we got to know them. We're like, this person's completely full of shit. And the reality is that your principles should determine who you're with. And I recognize that the Democrat Party is now sensible people like Ro Khanna and even Cory Booker that have sensible thoughts about how to help Americans. And then there's the batshit crazy side of people who are like, everybody should wear hijabs. And then also with us, we have the people who are like, yo, we need less government. We need lower taxes. We need more opportunity. And then there's the batshit crazy side that's like, every problem is because of Jews, right? So like, we have it on both sides. So I recognize that it's hard to find where you fit, but you need to recognize you don't have to fit in. Like, the reality is like, everybody who you think is cool, like everybody you've ever thought in your head where you're like, that person's a badass and that person's memorable, chances are that person stood out from the crowd and didn't join in. Maybe try that for yourself. Maybe you'll end up being a cool person. You may suck. That's definitely possible. Most of you will probably suck, but you could be a cool person.
You can't teach people to be cool, unfortunately. You either have it or you don't.
Do you know this from experience, Hannah? Yeah.
I was born cool. I just know that I've always been cool.
No, but that's the level of personal swag to have. Like, you should walk around and be like, I'm a bad bitch. And I'm not just meaning that for women. Guys, men, we're bitches too. Like, if you've ever seen me around spiders, I'm a bitch. Like, let's be real about this. So, but but that's what you should. You should walk around with some swagger. And so many people don't have that. It's like, and it's mind blowing to me because in the age of social media, you get to be you and be loud you. You could just pick up your phone and yell at it, and you are loud you. And people don't do it, and it blows my mind.
I think a lot of people are scared about how they come off to others, which is something I've never struggled with. I've mentioned it before, but it's probably my autism. I think I just really have an inability to like care about what people think about me, which has actually served me greatly in my life. And I think as I've gotten older, I've realized that that's something that a lot of neurotypical people really struggle with, is like worrying what people think of you and like how you're perceived. And luckily, I guess I'm unburdened by those anchors.
Well, I mean, look, having a touch of the tism is a superpower. Because let's be real, like, people accused me a long time ago because I made a comment about, I made the joke that I said anyone that would vote for Joe Biden after the last 4 years is very obviously mentally handicapped. And then I said I would like the Spartan aspect of kicking mentally handicapped people like that off a mountain. So they ran with it and they were like, Joe hates mentally handicapped people. He hates people with autism. And I was like, guys, I need you to understand that without autism, you don't have Socrates, you don't have Plato, you don't have Einstein, you don't have Oppenheimer. Every one of them was rocking the shit out of the spectrum. And that's what brought us forward. Like, because the vast majority of the humankind is stupid. We're functionally stupid. We know our jobs. But the reality is that you need brilliant people who are hyper focused because of having a little bit of autism, being on the spectrum somewhere. Those are the people that grab humanity by the hair and drag us forward. So like, having something like that isn't something to be ashamed of. You are the people with autism legitimately are the best possible addition for humanity to move forward.
Yeah, I wouldn't change it, honestly. I know I got diagnosed really late in life. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 30. But I kind of always had suspicions, and so many things clicked when I got diagnosed. And like, I can recognize the challenges that it's brought me, but a lot of that is like, I don't know, for me at least, and I'm level 1. I'm very, high functioning. Most people don't even know that I'm autistic. Like the people that I tell are like, really? Like I would have never guessed.
I didn't know until you told me recently.
It's like, it's just a lot of my internal stuff and like how I process things. But that like the way that my brain works is such a gift to me. And like, it obviously works so well for me. I've been living in here for 30 years, but like, and kind of understanding, like, I've always known I was different, but I didn't know why, and realizing like, oh, it's autism. And like a lot of people actually do think like me too. And a lot of people have the same kind of struggles I do. I really do believe it's a superpower. And, it's hard because it is a spectrum. Had I been diagnosed years ago, I probably would have been diagnosed with Asperger's, but now we have people on the spectrum who are like me. And then there are people on the spectrum who are, nonverbal and like, very low functioning. And it's kind of hard because when you bring it up, it's like, that's, I think, what people think about when they think of autism is like those very extreme cases. But for me, I mean, yeah, it's absolutely a superpower. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't want to be neurotypical if there was a pill or a Neuralink or something. I wouldn't do it.
I might be down on the Neuralink stuff. I would, if you gave me the ability to have Google in my head, bro. Like if I had Grok installed, I would talk so much more shit. I'm just gonna be real, but no, I mean, it's the reality is like the problem is that people like the neurotypical thing, right? Like people have like people so associate bad behaviors with it rather than the way it benefits them. Like I had somebody be like, well, I'm late all the time because I'm not neurotypical. And it's like, no, you're just an asshole. Like that's you're not, it's not the fact that you're not divergently minded. You just don't respect people's time. Like don't compare that. Like autism is a thing, Asperger's is a thing. These are diagnosable conditions that do affect your life and are something to overcome and something to use for your benefit to be the person you are. But you're always going to have people who will claim bullshit to feel like imagine if I told you 10 years ago there would be people claiming autism to feel cool.
It's so bizarre. It's like that was such a hurdle, honestly, for me getting diagnosed. I didn't seek out a diagnosis. I got into therapy, and after about a year of therapy, my therapist was like, I've kind of noticed some things about you. Like, why don't we take this test? And
shit.
Yeah. And I mean, even her, it took her a year to kind of pick up on it, and she's a therapist. So it's a lot of things, click for me, and like, but that like whole, I don't know why people want it. That's what's so bizarre. Like all these kids on TikTok who are like claiming autism or self-diagnosing, and it's like, but why? Like, one, if you're not autistic, like I remember seeing a TikTok of a lady who's like, I've been to 12 doctors to try to get a diagnosis, and all my friends tell me that they think I'm autistic, but the doctors don't. But I'm still self-diagnosing. It's like 12 doctors have told you that you're not autistic. Like, you're not autistic. Why do you want to like be autistic? Do you want to just like be different? I don't know. It's so weird. And it's not something like I've gotten more comfortable talking about it on the stream, but it's not something that I typically bring up or talk about. Like, I don't even think I've ever talked about it on Twitter. So it's just bizarre to me to like want to seek it out and like want to have that title for some reason. Anyone who like puts it in your face, I feel like you could question them.
But I feel like that's the reality today, especially with Gen Z. I feel like we are living in an age where there is a desperate need to feel special. Like we all wanted to feel special when we were in grade school or high school. And the way we had to do that was we had to accomplish something to be special, right? We had to be a star football player, star wrestler, star field hockey, star soccer, right? We had to separate ourselves from the crowd. I feel like Gen Z has been offered so many different ways, like, and again, not to go into like the trans argument, but when you go into like that, that is your way to claim to be special, to claim to be different without having to do anything, which I think is so destructive, not just to society, but to the human soul, to be put in a position to be special simply off a claim that doesn't cause you to change yourself. Because one of the most beautiful things about being special is you probably have to change. You have to achieve to do that. But we have so many avenues for people to be part of special groups, and they never have to change anything about themselves. They just have to claim things. They have to say, I'm self-diagnosing myself as autistic. Now I'm part of this special group. I'm actually a man in a woman's body. And now you're part of a special group that's protected. And I think that's the danger, is allowing people to claim special status without ever having to improve, without ever having to change, without ever having to focus on something to overcome, because autism is something to overcome. And that doesn't make it a bad thing, but it's something to overcome and something to utilize to turn into a power for your future. But if you got to claim that without actually having to fight that battle, now you're part of a group where everybody is better than you and you're just faking it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take responsibility for it. It's not obviously my fault that I was born this way. I've always been this way. My brain has always worked this way as long as I can remember, thinking. And that's like you said, that's not whatever made me special. I was special because, I was super smart and I could write, and, I read at a super high grade level for the grade level that I was. Like, those things set me apart. And did it have something to do with my autism? Probably, but it was never like, oh, you're special because you're smart because you're autistic. It's like, you're smart, you're a smart kid, you're, going to go into the special classes, whatever. And then later in life, I find out I'm autistic. It's like, okay, that probably had a lot to do with just how I excelled in school and things like that. But it comes with a lot of challenges. There are things to overcome. A big issue of mine is just communication. Like, my marriage has gotten so much better ever since I've gotten diagnosed, because my husband is starting to really understand how my brain works. And like, my affect is very flat all the time. I'm very monotone. I say there's not a lot of emotion in my voice. There's not a lot of emotion on my face. So sometimes I say things and it comes off, a certain way. And my husband would be like, "What? Why are you saying
understand
that?"
how
Like,
scary
what?
that is for men,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
you get how horrifying that is for us. Like,
And
you
now
guys-
I understand it. I didn't understand it, but that was like, it was
Yeah.
such a contention point between us, because I would come off this way to him and not realize I was coming off that way. And he's like, "What's your problem?" And I'm like, what's your problem? What are you talking about?
Like, you're talking about how lovely the weekend was, and he's like, "We got beef? Like, what the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah.
And that's horrifying for us, because we've learned that women, surprise, surprise, you're a little more emotional than us, right?
Mhm.
So we learn to look for that. We learn to look for the emotion. So when
Mhm.
you bring no emotion to it, we're like, we just have a little glitch for a second.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, am I misreading? Like, am I about to get stabbed? Like, I grew up with half Hispanic family, so getting stabbed was always a possibility. But like, the reality is, like, so he's now recognizing, oh, I have to really listen to what she says and not what I'm seeing on the face. And I will tell you, that's a, like, your man is, upgrading a level in his perception of women.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
generally we look for facial expressions,
Mhm.
like,
And I do things too, like, before I say something or ask a question that, like, I know now he might take the wrong way, or, might come off the wrong way. I say beforehand, before I even say it, "Hey, I'm going to say something. I don't mean anything by it," or "This is what I mean by it, but here's what I'm going to say." Like, I just have to be so explicit and direct and just upfront. And like, I think that throws people off too, because people often like look for like a hidden meaning in what I'm saying, or look for like the, okay, she's saying this, but what is she actually saying? And it's like, no, I actually don't have the ability to bullshit. I don't think, like,
no, you actually have disclaimers in your marriage.
Yeah.
Of like, yo, hold on, disclaimer, I'm not mad. I'm about to say some shit that's make you think I'm mad. I'm not, but it's gonna come across that way because my face is gonna be flat as fuck when I say it.
Yep.
But that's what I used to tell women all the time in my original content. Women would, like, ladies are amazingly good at thinking that we think like you. It's wild, because you guys do have hidden meaning, right? You guys do, you're meaning something when you tell us about something that's coming up next week. there's hidden meaning in that. We need to do shit with it. If a man, like we have like we're functionally fucking stupid. So like we're barely functioning human beings. We want to, rock, meat, stick, break, stick, build thing, right? Like we're dumb. And women have, it's amazing how women have such trouble. This is going to sound awful. How women have such trouble recognizing how fucking stupid we are. Like you ladies do not want to accept that you are married to a moron.
That is the best advice that I got from one of like the mother figures in my life. Was she drilled it into my head in my early 20s, 18, 19, 20, 21-ish. All men are dumb. And she loves her husband more than she worships the ground he walks on. He worships the ground she walks on. She says, I don't care how smart he is at work. I don't care what kind of job he works. He gets home. He's a fucking idiot. And that's all. You have to remember that. And then you can move forward through life knowing that information and living according to, yeah.
Like what Brendan said. We get excited over finding a stick. Like if you guys look at some of the most popular content for guys, stuff where they say this is for the boys, it's throwing a rock into a pool of ice. And we will watch it 7 times and be purely satisfied by the video because we're idiots.
But we love you guys for it.
And if women just recognize that we are morons, you just treat us like morons. And shit'll be better. I promise you. Treat us like the dog who hits his head on the screen because he doesn't know it's there.
I love that you can admit it and come out and say it, because we need more of that, honestly.
My ultimate goal with my original content was people would always ask me why I did that content. And it was because I recognized that if women were able to better understand men, more women would get the men of their dreams, but in turn, that means more men would be getting the women of their dreams. Like, that's why I always love when people ask the question of like, what's your type? Ladies, men don't have a type. Just so you know, we like the ones that like us. Like, just so like, if you asked me, like, what would I prefer? I prefer a woman who likes me and is sweet.
That's so funny.
I don't care about hair color or boob size or butt size. I prefer a woman who likes me and is sweet and likes to bang me every once in a while.
Simple.
Sounds pretty simple.
I never really thought of that, but thinking about all of like my husband's exes that I've seen photos of, none of us look alike. There's none of his exes
there's no control in the experiment.
No, at all.
No, because your husband likes the ones that liked him.
Yeah, I guess so. I maybe that's a woman thing. I didn't realize.
But men don't have a type because we don't get to choose. Like we legitimately don't get to choose. Like we like are you willing to talk to us? Could we possibly talk you into taking your clothes off? There's a good chance we could have a relationship here.
We like that. Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah. I just want to say, because someone said it's hard to open up like this. I commend you. I agree. I was going to say too, Hannah, I really appreciate how open you are because, again, like it's not easy to talk about whatever personal challenges and stuff. So it takes a lot to do that. And it's so helpful for other people to hear. So it really is such a big deal. For example, Brendan shared his experience as well. I was diagnosed with Asperger's when I was a child. Now I'm 30 and 12 years in the military. If I can do it, then so can many others. And I didn't need medication. So very inspirational. And again, I just love the whole message about being you, kind of going back to authenticity. I mean, it's so boring to be a copycat, right? And all that. So just to like the uniqueness, the individuality that we all possess, it's like figuring that out and owning it and letting it shine. And I know that can be hard, but I do love Joe and Hannah, this whole message that you guys are presenting here, which is, come on, like guys, you're awesome. Like it's just so positive, and there's not enough of that. I feel like right now, I think so many people are insecure. And so I just love that. I think it's beautiful. And I 100% agree. it's so cool that we're different and we think
Yeah.
differently and we have different skills and strengths and quirks and whatever it might be. Of course, yeah, challenges too, but there's strength in that also, right? Like I think the greatest
Totally.
rewards come from the greatest challenges, the things that we fight through that make us stronger, etc. Learn more about ourselves, have greater self-awareness and all the positives that that brings, like Hannah, you're saying, you know, communication, relationships, like all of that. And it's a beautiful kind of journey.
Well, there's no disability that makes you an asshole. Like that's the wonderful thing. Like there's no disability
That's
that makes
just
you an
me, bro.
asshole.
Yeah.
If you're an asshole, you chose to be. Like
Mhm.
no, like there's no like piece of shit illness, right? There's nothing out there that makes you a piece of shit. You choose to do that. Everything else is just something to overcome, something that is quirks to your personality, which again, no matter how weird you are, I promise you there's a shitload of weird people out there.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and you'll find your group. That's like been the coolest part of my whole social media Twitter experience is like finding a group of people who think like me, and I've found so many friends and met so many cool people that I wouldn't have met otherwise because I'm on an app, and like I love it. I mean, and you do, I mean, you do have to sort through a lot of losers and weirdos and whatnot, but I think that when you're authentic, you can kind of sniff that out in other people as well. And like you said, there's a lot of people where we can call them out immediately and like we know they're bullshit, but real recognizes real.
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather be autistic than be a liberal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, if I was gonna catch something, I'd rather catch me some autism. I might get better at math because I can tell you that was a problem.
Terrible at math. That's a lie. I was terrible at it.
Damn it! I was hoping for a little touch of the tism to get me to be better. It's all right.
No,
Look,
I'm Asian and autistic, and I still suck at math.
for real. The fact that forget the autism, the fact that you're Asian and bad at math, like you're bucking all kinds of trends right now.
It's a shame.
Wait, hold on. Wait, are
ashamed
you
to my family.
also a good driver?
I mean, I probably would say nobody else in my life does. My sister, every time we go somewhere, she's like, "I'm driving." Like,
All right.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you gotta hold those Asian stereotypes. You gotta hold at least one of them.
Yeah, right. I can't meet them all.
So, Joe, you recently went to Israel, Europe. I wanted to ask you, and for everyone, you know, how was your experience? What was your experience? What did you see? How was it? How was your trip?
It was wonderful. I got to tell you right now, everybody's so fucking hot in Israel. It's ridiculous. They're so hot. I mean, they're just walking around. Just the casualness of how hot people are is ridiculous. But I mean, it was wonderful. I mean, we went to Tel Aviv. They treated us really well. We were right next to the beach. We got to meet a ton of fans. We got to meet a ton of people. Talk to government officials. What I recognized about Israel is, holy shit, are they liberal? Like, wow, super liberal. Like liberal and leftist. They're they're very, very much that way. And but I will say, like, one of the biggest things was the whole idea of things being separated or it being a Jews only place. That goes right out the window the minute you step foot in the country. The guy, my cab driver from the airport was named Mohammed. He was an Arab Muslim who's lived there for generations and loves Israel. He's a Muslim, totally loves America. Could not stop telling me about how awesome Trump was the whole way to the hotel. And you just meet these people who the media would tell you are oppressed or hated or part of a different society, and they are doing all the same things that everybody's doing. They're enjoying their lives. They're trying to party. And I will tell you, the one instance that really set with me was we went downtown in Tel Aviv and saw a site that had been hit by Iranian rockets. It had completely destroyed the apartment complex, huge hole in the ground, multiple people died. It was a really rough thing. And as we're looking at this massive hole in the ground, these destroyed apartments, three dudes roll by in a vehicle singing Britney Spears. And I was like, they're driving through the destruction of their neighborhood. And they're like, they're singing Toxic at the top of their lungs. right? Because the people there really do embrace the idea that, hey, we could die. The people around us want to murder us, and we are going to enjoy every single day, every bit of life we can, and we're not going to worry about it. And it is a version of people that I would love to see embraced everywhere. But sadly, I think it's a product of having your life put at risk so much that you're not willing to waste a second in what you're doing because it could end with an Iranian rocket or a Hamas suicide bomber or anything. And they're like, fuck that. Let's ball out and have a good time.
Wow. I mean, yeah, again, this is why I wanted to ask you about it because, you were there. I think, like you said, people see things on the news, the media paints things a certain way. I mean, you were actually there, you actually experienced it. So I think it's so helpful to hear your perspective and what you saw and what you experienced to try to, I don't know. I mean, if there is a changing people's minds.
Well, it's like when I was
you were
there, like
actually open to hearing, because yeah, if you haven't been there and you haven't, I mean, you don't. So
well, like when I was there, Dan Bilzerian tweeted, Israel needs more diversity. And I saw the tweet and I looked around and I was like, bruh, this place could not get more diverse. Like I've been all over the world. I've lived in Paris. I've spent years in the Middle East. I've been everywhere. You will not find a more diverse place than Israel. It's Muslims in full hijabs. It's shirtless Israelis because I don't know if they own shirts, but they're just walking around tan and ripped. And I'm a little insecure about that, so that didn't work for me. But and then it's like super white looking people, like the classic Jew you see in New York. And everybody, nobody gives a shit that anybody's different. Like everybody is just living their lives. The amount of effort that we put into racial bullshit in America is baffling to me because in Israel, they are literally juxtaposed to each other, 2 feet from each other, living the same life, enjoying it. And there's no hatred, there's no judgment, there's no shit talking, there's no problem. You can go to a restaurant and like we went to the Old Man in the Sea restaurant. It is a Arabic restaurant owned by Muslim Arabs. And when we went in there, everybody was just trying to get at the hummus. Nobody gave a shit that people were wearing hijabs or they're Arab Jews and there were Jews here. Everybody was just like, let's enjoy the food, enjoy the view. And they are so much better at not giving a shit about your skin color or what you wear than we are in America. And I get the jealousy. Although it's really expensive there, by the way. Fucking Tel Aviv's really expensive. But it's just they're so good at it. And I think that's why people hate so much is they recognize that they are living their happy lives regardless of what the world thinks of them and regardless of what the world thinks is going on. And they just do not give the slightest of shits.
yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing about your experience there. And again, I hope that people will listen. I wish that more people would be willing to be open and listen and learn things. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Speaking of, there's a little bit of something going on in the chat, but that I don't know.
Bruce is very unhappy with me.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, okay, so Bruce apparently, is coming in to talk shit, and like,
Oh my God! So
not
wait,
making
let me address
yourself
this. Let me address this. So this is how much I live rent free in these people's heads.
Uh-huh.
So just so everyone knows, I was arrested. The funny thing was I was arrested because I owed $47 from 5 years ago on a probation. I got a DUI 5 years ago. I had probation, and apparently I still owed $47. So they put out a bench warrant. But I had somebody on TikTok who hated me, called the police and said I was committing domestic violence. So they rolled up with 12 fully kitted out sheriffs. And I'm
Yeah.
standing on my backyard at like 1 a.m. A little tipsy, and it's pitch black. They yelled my name. I almost jump out of my fucking shoes. I probably shit my pants a little bit. And then proceeded to shoot me with 2 tasers because in their heads, I was trying to get away to go commit domestic violence.
Uh-huh.
So they shot me, and it was The funny part was I don't blame the cops. If you think I'm going to go commit domestic violence, I'm glad you didn't beat the shit out of me. Right. So I went into jail, had to pay the $47. Everything was fine. But while I was in jail, they were literally talking about online that I got released because I blew a guard. And I was like, what kind of weird, like here's the thing right now. If you are a person who I've never met, you don't know me, and your thought is me blowing somebody, you have weird fantasies. Like, you are a very weird I want to know that I know now that you have pictured me sucking D in your head. So I own you. Because I've never pictured what you look like blowing somebody.
Right.
You've done that for me. And if I got out of jail, that means I was good at it. that now it's a new skill to add to my resume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I just want to I just want to point this. So this is what you're saying, Steph, true, right? Imagine coming here just to talk. So you're not making yourself, and then this is what people's interpretation then is when you come in and you just want to name call and be nasty and be ugly and make things up and just name call, etc. It just makes, okay, if you're liberal, which it tends to be, coming in and like, there's not like, hey, here's a question. Hey, here's a thought. Hey, here's an opinion. It's just immediately like nasty, cursing, angriness. Like, it's not helping anything. So now people think you're a sad human being, with more insults, right? Like in the chat. And
don't you have anything better to do on your Thursday night?
And this is the thing. This is what people think. The party of love, peace, and acceptance, showing that they hate everyone who's not them. And I mean, I agree with it because I've gotten so much hate from the left. And honestly, the right has been very warm and like they weren't in the past. They thought I was a bold lib, but my experience has been very warm, welcoming. Whereas the left, even though I agree with a lot, we agree on a lot of points, that's not been my experience. And so I just can't with the coming in here. It's an attack. It's name calling. It's cursing. It's like, come in and actually ask a question or have a conversation.
That's what I get. I get that, but that's the reality of it is most of them don't have a solid argument. They're like, I hate this guy. Why do you hate this guy? Because of something I did in my personal life that doesn't affect you. For some reason, you think that makes you better than me. But the reality is as somebody pointed out in the chat, if you look at Bruce's account, Bruce has a daughter. So Bruce, rather than spending time with his daughter, rather than being a good father, wants to come and talk to a guy about blowing dudes. Like, that's what you're doing with your time. I can tell you right now that if I had a daughter, what I wouldn't do is go online with people I've never met, never interacted with, and think about them sucking D. But that's what Bruce does. Like, that's your life. So, like, I know I've won because you know what I've never done, Bruce? Thought about you ever. And that makes me win. Like, my life is my daily life is I take my dog to the beach in the morning. I record some videos. I play video games. I drink some bourbon. It's a pretty good life. But you sit around and think about me blowing dudes. I feel like I'm winning.
Yeah, I feel sad that he has a daughter. I love my
Same.
dad. My dad's the best. Like, I can't imagine if that's how he spent his time instead of being a good dad.
Could you imagine if you walked up on your dad, like the dad that you respect, and you're like, "What are you doing, Dad?" And he's like, "I'm talking to this dude about blowing guys." You'd have been like, "Dad, I respect you less now."
Yeah.
I just got more autism because of that. That was your fault.
It's definitely my dad's fault I have autism. It's
Absolutely,
genetic.
100%.
If you didn't know, that's something I learned. And when my therapist told me it was genetic, she's like, well, typically don't like to, diagnose without having a parent with a diagnosis or having a parent, that I've met and kind of she's like, but tell me a little bit about your dad. And she was like, okay, I think we figured that one out real quick.
So your dad has the signs of autism?
Yes. And I will say, like, women, how it presents in women and how it presents in men is very different. And also my dad is, you know, I don't know what generation he technically is. He's 50 something. So,
Ooh.
yeah, he's just like, mental health wasn't a thing back then. He was also dyslexic when he was in school, but never got like help with it or anything. So my dad's very much socially, he's like not with it really. Like he doesn't pick up on things at all. And he has his intense hyperfixations, which are his VW bus that he has completely restored from nothing. And
is your dad a hippie?
No, he's from Hawaii and volleyball, which is like his entire world. So yeah, my dad's a big brown Hawaiian guy.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
But no, like normally the VW van is hippie shit, but Hawaii's a whole different world.
Yeah, it really
is. It's a different world of people from a different breed of the way they do things. I mean, Samoan?
Filipino.
Okay. Which passes as Samoan in
I mean, in Hawaii is like, it's such a unique place because so many different, obviously, types of Asian people live there. There's not really native Hawaiians anymore, but a lot of the island is Filipino, Japanese, you know, Chinese people, Samoan people, a lot of just different Polynesian people. And so the Hawaii culture in and of itself is kind of its own unique thing. Like we definitely have a lot of, you know, Filipino cultural things in our family, but it's very like Hawaiian style. Like they're all from Hawaii. So it's very much like that's just the vibe is like a Hawaiian family rather than specific subgenre of Asian.
Brendan's going there.
Wow, nice.
I mean, so your dad was just raised in Moana.
Yeah, he was born and raised in Oahu or on Oahu.
There you go. Nice.
I wanted to point this out because I do think this is a beautiful thing that I admire. Joe even talks to people when they insult him. He'll talk to them and have a genuine conversation with them when all they want to do is insult him. I love that.
Because it's like if you're willing to insult me, that means that you at least have a perception of what's going on in my life. So you're paying attention to me. So good, let's have a conversation. Like, is there something you actually disagree with me? Because I'll have people who come in my lives. First thing they'll be like, "What was it like pissing yourself?" And I'm like, "It was relieving," because like peeing is always relieving, and it was wonderful. And then I'll be like, "Do you have something to talk about?" And a lot of the time, you can actually get them to be like, "Well, yeah, what I disagree with you on, it's like perfect. Let's hear that."
Yes,
because that's what's worth discussing.
Yes,
you can dislike me as a person. We can still have a conversation. It's fine. I recognize that online, I definitely play up being an asshole. I do everything I can to piss you off. I am rage baiting people. But if we can have a conversation, we can be real people about it.
Yeah, and to be fair, they think they hate you, just like they think they hate me. But when they're actually willing to have the conversation, you can actually change people's minds. And it's not really, yes and no, but like it happens and you do change people and they're like, oh, they come around. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Whereas some people are not willing to have conversations. They think they know you, they hate you, and they won't talk to you. It's like, and I'm not allowed to talk to certain people if I take it. You don't even know what I've taken pictures with certain people. I've gone to Moms for Liberty and oh my God, the end of the world. How dare I do that? You don't even know what we talked about. You don't know anything about it. It's extremely frustrating. And the holier than thou thing, right? So people like, I've already forgot his name because he's not memorable. Whoever came in attacking you.
We're talking about Bruce.
He's not living rent free in our heads.
I only remember because they've said it a bunch.
It doesn't matter. But I don't know. They convince themselves that they're right. They're justified. They're fighting Nazis and fascists. It's like, they really think he's probably like, I am doing good for my daughter. I'm fighting the Nazis, like, bro, Reality
Well,
check.
well, it's
Speaking
like,
of a dose of reality.
but that's the perfect example of when people used to have to do really amazing shit to be special, to separate themselves from the crowd. Now it's, oh, I own this dude with a comment. It's like you didn't do anything.
No.
Like they legitimately think that if they put a comment on your X post, that you're gonna stew on that all day. It's like,
Mhm.
no, bro, the chances are I get enough X comments that I probably didn't see it. But what I love to do is if you talk shit to me on X, the first thing I'm doing is liking your comment. I want you to know that I enjoyed the fact that you engaged with me,
I love it.
right? And generally, the people that talk shit to me, they follow me, which is
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
So I always have the meme of the dudes who's like, "But you follow me though," right?
Yes.
Because
I
the
saw that.
reality is that if you're going to follow me, that means that you have chosen to not like something and do your best to see more of it.
Yeah.
That would be like us back in the day turning the TV on and we scroll to a show and we're like, "Oh, I hate this show," and then watching it. And it's like you're watching something. You have the choice. Like we could watch. Like, look, we have access to everything. So if you hate me, but I am going to consume 2 hours of your life because you can't look away. Look, just call me daddy at that point because I own you.
And what's so funny to me is like they can definitely find groups online that will agree with them and they can like talk about their just like we do. Like you can find a group of friends online that agree with you and you can talk to them. You don't have to like seek out people who disagree with you just to like try to torment them. It's so odd.
Yeah, but that's the wild part is they really think they're doing something. Like they like when I talk shit, I'm lucky enough that I have a sizable enough account that if I talk shit to you, I'm probably going to get engagement back. But understand, I'm only doing it because I felt the need to fuck with you and see if I could get you to respond. Yeah, this is this is a joke on my live that it's not daddy, it's Poppy because I made the joke one
Poppy.
time
Call
that
him
if a woman calls me Poppy because I come from a Puerto Rican household, if a woman calls me Poppy, I'm just gonna go buy the ring. So,
Ooh.
but it's like no, I'm easy. Just so everybody knows, I am very very easy. Like be nice to me and like to sleep with me once in a while. We'll probably get married. Like it's easy. I'm an extremely easy person. I'm in real life. Look, anybody who's ever met me in real life will tell you that it does not match up with the person I am on TikTok. Because on TikTok, I am the most exaggerated version of myself. I have a problem with everything I hear. I want to yell about stuff. In real life, oh my God, I can't tell you how much I don't give a fuck. Like I am so disconnected from worrying about stuff. My life is so mellow. It's filled with beaches and dog parks and travel and fun and enjoying my life. Like social media is my place to vent. It's my place to get shit out and yell at stuff. But in real life, life is just way too good to fill it up worrying about whether or not this dude is tucking his shit to go into the women's bathroom. I don't care.
Yeah, that reminds me of a conversation we've had on here before, Angela. It was like essentially what were we talking about? It was essentially like there was one thing about like how do you kind of deal with the negativity from social media, and my answer was essentially like I just live my life, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And then another time we were talking about like our brands online, and my brand is kind of this like pessimistic, like nihilistic, like everything's fucked kind of brand. Like that's kind of my messaging, but that's not how I am in real life either. I'm very like into, I'm
Yeah.
so hopeful and like positive about things in my real life, and politics takes up a very small portion of my brain in the big scheme of things, but that's what I'm famous for, right? So when I get on the app, it's like that's kind of what you have to perform for what people expect from you.
Yeah, we're putting on a show.
Mhm.
Like we are putting on a show. We're being authentic, but we are putting on a show. We are like, look, if I made videos only about shit that bothered me in real life, I wouldn't make videos Like I've smoked entirely too much weed to be concerned with bullshit. I've been in situations like I don't get excited about shit in real life because like I've been in situations where shit was exploding or people were shooting at me, and that we'll call that excitable. So like when somebody's like, "Oh, well, this person voted this way," and I'm like, in real life, I go, "Well, that person's a dickhead." Online, I go, let me tell you why this person's mother never really loved them, and that's why they're voting this way. And let me tell you why they're a piece of shit person who should be removed from office. In real life, I'm just going, well, that person sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of speaks to what we were saying about people think they know you based on your content or whatever. There's just, and I'm a big believer in balance, in terms of self-care and mental health and wellness. So I think it is good to have that balance. I mean, there are a lot of people who just walk around just angry and doom and
Yeah.
gloom all the time. And then they're just feeding right the rhetoric and the narrative, and then they're just going around like everything's fucked all the time. And I'm like, okay, but like, is that productive? We just take a step back. And
No, but the beauty is there are things I truly believe in. Like somebody, Josh, in your chat just said,
Yeah.
Joe is a Zionist shill. Here's the reality, guys. I am a Zionist. Because Zionism to me is believing that Israel has a right to exist and a right to defend themselves. If you don't believe that, let me ask you, have you just to check whether or not you're an anti-Semite or an America First person, have you ever questioned any other nation's right to exist? The answer is no. I would ask you, why have you only ever done that for the Jews? Like that's like I judge Israel I judge them by the same standard I judge any other nation. I think they have a right to exist. I think they have a right to defend themselves. I would say that about any nation on earth. I'd say that about Iran. Iran has a right to exist and a right to defend themselves. I'd say it about Russia. I'd say it about Ukraine. There's no nation I wouldn't do that. But if you find yourself going, the only people I have a problem existing is the Jews, well, you're fucking Hitler at that point. You're Himmler. You're Goebbels. Like that's your thought process. If your life is negatively affected by the existence of Jews, maybe question whether or not you're a piece of shit.
Older millennials cracking me up because so many get accused of rage baiting when they actually just get themselves wound up and can't regulate.
Well, just a reminder, offense is taken, not given. Right? You choose to be offended. Right? Like
Yeah, you
I'm
have
offended.
control over it.
I'm offended by the fucking Dodgers being really good at baseball. It doesn't mean that the Dodgers should be prosecuted for fucking hate speech. Right? Like offense is taken, it's not given. So, like, if you're offended by what I say, please know from the bottom of my heart that I'm happy I pissed you off. Like it makes me giddy inside. I love it. It's wonderful. I'm glad I pissed you off. But also, please know that once I read your comment about you being offended, about you being upset, that I am going to forget that you exist.
You have to have that balance. It takes so much energy to be angry and miserable. Yeah, and you don't want to put your energy into that, honestly. That is not a productive use of your energy.
So many people on TikTok, I just want to like blow weed smoke in their face to calm them down.
I know you do get, earlier I was speaking to how many people connect with your content and with you and your authenticity and your realness and all of that. But obviously you also get a lot of negativity and hate and people who come at you and attack. And then I do though love your brilliant, responses and videos back. And you always give facts, like you give statistics, you give actual things to back up what you're saying, whereas so many people just make these baseless claims based on nothing. And I really appreciate that as well, but you do that brilliantly.
Well, I recognize that my opinion doesn't matter, right? My opinion is mine alone. It's what I believe. My opinion shouldn't sway anyone. If I make an argument, I have to back it up. Because I can't expect me to say something because I feel this way and expect you to change your mind. It's what I do is I say I feel this way because here's the factual basis of it, and here's why I think this way. If my argument is just my opinion, Okay, I'm shouting
Yeah.
into the hurricane at that point. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And that's how it's gotta be. And I actually get yelled at where they're like, "Well, you didn't provide proof of this." And it's like, yeah, almost like it's so readily available that if you're
Yeah.
not willing to look it up, you don't actually wanna know about it.
Yeah. I mean, I do find that in general, a lot of people won't take the time to research things and they just believe whatever they're told by a certain person that they're watching or a certain network that they're watching, and without really like digging deeper and asking the questions that I think are so important. And I'm one to be like, I don't know, I'm very skeptical now. And I'm like, I need to fact check and research anything. And I'm open to listening. And I'm not an expert. I don't know about everything. And I'd rather hear in order to form my opinions about stuff, all that. Okay. Before we run out of time, I have to ask you about, and someone pointed out the LA mayoral race earlier. I know that you've been somewhat vocal about that. We've been talking about it on the stream also. Oh my gosh. What is going on here? I also have posed this question on X and et cetera. Like, why are people continuing to vote for Karen Bass when so many people think that she's ruined the city? Like, what is it going to take to not vote for her? What is happening here?
Well,
And
the reality to me is that I don't understand it. Like, it is like, look, you don't have to like Spencer Pratt. If you don't like Spencer Pratt, that's fine. I get it. I mean, he might come across as a diva a little bit. I get it. If you don't like Spencer Pratt, that's fine. But a vote for Karen Bass means that you are saying that you like the way shit's been going. Like, that's what you're voting for. You're saying,
Mhm.
I like the way shit's been going, and I want to continue that. If you live in LA, I can tell you I've been to LA a lot. I don't know a single person who likes the way shit's going. Right? So that's the reality of it, is voting for and watching Karen Bass go, here's what I'm gonna do if you reelect me. And it's like, bitch, you are the mayor. You are currently the mayor. You could just do these things. And here's the
Right.
thing: if you did all the shit you said you were gonna do, I would be on your side. If Karen
Yeah.
Bass followed through on all the shit she said she was going to do, I would campaign for her. The problem is you had how long was she? 5 years, and you didn't do any of it. And now you want us to reelect you. Like, here's the thing. I'm going to tell y'all right now, you're welcome to contact the FBI and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going, because your election laws are so fucking stupid, I am going to fly to LA and vote for Spencer Pratt. I'm going to violate election law. I'm going to fly across the country, and because you guys don't ID, you don't check anything, I am going to go vote for Spencer Pratt. Oh, and by the way, I'm also going to show up and vote for Steve Hilton.
Wait, can you please document this? Because this would be an
No,
amazing.
I'm not gonna document a federal crime.
Well, I know, but it would be such a good expose because,
Yes, but then I would be in jail.
Okay, fair enough. Take one for the team. No? All right.
Look, here's the thing. If I go to jail, look, I'm pretty. I'm taking one for the team when I go to jail. I'm not doing that.
And we're back to sexualizing it. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's called pretty privilege. It's the reality. Hot people have easier lives. Ugly people, look, I don't know what you're going through. I've never been one of you, but I imagine your life is tough.
Yeah. Okay. So what? Okay. Right. Because at this point, they only have like something like 62% of the votes in, and Karen Bass is at like 35%, and Spencer's looking good at like 29, but like now I don't know. So is it just they're waiting on mail-in?
So the reality is the way it works is that the top two are going to go to the race anyway.
Right.
So I think Spencer's kind of locked in. I don't think whatever the hell that stupid Lithia or Nithia or whatever the fuck her name is, I don't think she's going to get the vote she needs. So I think it's going to be Spencer going into the race. And I think that's where the fun's really going to begin. Just like it's like going to be Steve Hilton and Xavier Becerra fighting each other for the governor's race. I do think it's going to be a lot of fun. But here's the reality, I think, where conservatives need to be hopeful. This is something to be watched. because this is somebody who's conservative minded, on the ground, grounded thought process, and he is having a shot in LA. And in California, you have Steve Hilton, a true conservative, is in the lead. Like this gives inspiration to people because this is the bluest of bluest places, and conservatives are competing. So it says great things for Arkansas and Iowa and Pennsylvania and Jersey, where they're not the super liberals they are in California. So if Spencer can lose by a small margin in LA, conservatives can win everywhere.
Do you know about this? How is there 28 million votes and only 24 million registered people?
So the 28 million votes is still an unverified thing. If it does come out, there will definitely be an investigation, but that's still an unverified number. It is a conspiracy theory accusation.
Okay. Gotcha. So I guess what else I want to there? I'm just looking of because you've sort of been critical of, well, I think of LA's voting process. Is that because of voter ID, things like that, or the mail? Like, what do you? What do people?
Well, let's be real about this. There's 195 sovereign nations on Earth. 179 of them complete their national voting in one day.
Yeah.
So there are 179 nations on this planet that are able to count their votes in a single 24-hour period. But we have a city that is not capable of counting their votes in a week.
Yeah.
Like, that's fuckery. There is some fuckery afoot at that point because there's no reason for that to happen. It's just the reality of it that you don't take a week to count votes if you're counting them honestly.
Yeah, that is.
Wait. I have to respond to this comment. Steve Hilton is Newsom's buddy. I have personally interviewed Steve Hilton. I have sat down with him. I've talked with him multiple times. He fucking hates Gavin Newsom. Like if there was no law against him, he would have knocked him the fuck out. He doesn't. I don't know where this rumor was started. Steve, here's what I would recommend. If you guys would like me, I will reach out to Steve Hilton and I will directly call him and say, tell me what you think of Gavin Newsom. And I promise you, he will verbally shit in Gavin Newsom's mouth.
Well, there you have it.
Like, stop with this bullshit. Steve Hilton is the only true conservative in this party. You guys wanted to vote for Chad Bianco because he was a sheriff and wore a cowboy hat. So you thought he was a conservative. He wasn't. He bowed to BLM. He's the worst. His district where he's sheriff has the worst stats of any sheriff. He also makes $640,000 a year as the sheriff. Like that's not a conservative.
Yeah, I mean, I really cannot wrap my head around this Karen Bass thing because I agree with you. I've not heard anyone who is a fan of her thinks she's done a good job. So is it just like the vote blue no matter who situation where people like
That's
that
really
has
what it
to
is.
be, right? Because but yeah, I mean the amount of time it's taking for this is crazy. And I don't know how you trust the process.
Well, I don't trust the process.
Yeah.
I trust that it's under enough of a microscope that the fuckery will be controlled. Because I don't trust the process. I don't trust and the reality is I don't trust that our elections are secure.
Yeah.
And for both parties, I don't trust that Democrats aren't cheating. I don't trust that Republicans aren't cheating. But I trust that when things are obvious enough, everybody will question it.
Yeah.
I hope.
I hope so too. I mean, it sounds like we're on the same page with that. I hope everyone else, because I I think it happens. A lot of these things happen on both sides, and it should be called out no matter what. And things should be whatever fair and fixed and all of that. And I really can't understand why voter ID is not a thing and why we
Well,
don't.
luckily you live in the free state of Florida.
Right now.
And can I ask,
I
Hannah,
got out
where
of
are
New
you?
York. What's that?
Me, I'm in Oregon.
Oh, yes.
Sweet Jesus, I pray for you.
Yeah.
Hey,
I moved.
You do
Okay.
know the new law they're proposing in Oregon right now, right?
Which one?
So they just proposed a new law where it would make hunting,
Yes.
fishing, and ranching animal cruelty.
It will never pass. That's the thing. My husband talks about this a lot. He's a big outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman. Hunters are the best conservationists in the country. And so much of this state is red, like bleeds red farmers, down home people where I am. I'm in the rural area, about 35 minutes outside of Portland. Anywhere outside of Portland, Salem, and Eugene is bleeds red. And the whole entire state gets fucked over by Portland and everything happening there. So, we find our pockets and there are conservatives around, but unfortunately, the state is just run by bullshit and probably has a lot to do with the mail-in voting, honestly. I know we've talked about that on here before. But it's always been a thing as long as I've been able to vote. And it's bizarre to me. When I lived in California for a few years after high school, and, that wasn't better. I ended up leaving there because I couldn't own a gun and carry it, which is against everything that I believe. My dad's a cop and, that's just, we protect ourselves. So I left California for that reason. And, Oregon gets a lot of shit because of Portland, but so much of the state is beautiful, and bullshit like that is not going to pass here because there's so many just down home people who know the reality of hunting and fishing and conservation, and the dumbass fucking liberals won't get it.
So I imagine your husband's a big supporter of the Greater Idaho Project.
He loves it. Unfortunately, we're not far east enough to be lumped in, but yeah, he's all for that.
No, I love it. And I know way too much about Oregon only because I was trying to date this girl in Oregon, so I had to learn a bunch about her state, so I got to act like I cared. So I know a lot about Oregon because she's a super conservative in Oregon, and I was like,
I gotta
didn't
be
know
her
they
friend. Dang.
Well, I was like, I didn't know they made you, right? So
maybe she is your friend, Hannah. You don't know.
Maybe.
it was a model of Oregonian that I didn't know existed. So it was like, oh, this is lovely. So
There's
I
a lot
learned
of
a bunch
us
about
here,
the state.
surprisingly. I mean,
I
there are.
I get it, but y'all are country folk. That's what people forget. Oregon is mostly country folk. Like y'all are rednecks just up north.
Oh
y'all
yeah.
are rednecks that are colder in the winter.
Yep. People don't realize that. It's like I grew up outside riding horses, fishing, hunting, camping. Like my mom's side of the family are a bunch of redneck hillbillies, and proud of it. Like that's how we are.
And just to disturb people for a second, this is a little nugget of knowledge I know that I always find funny when it comes to rednecks. I want to just let everybody know, like everybody knows William Shakespeare, and his amazing plays, Othello and all those. I will remind everyone that the people who performed in those plays, the accent that they had was most comparable to the American South. So it wasn't Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? It was Romeo, Romeo, wherefore out? Like it was redneck as shit. So I just want you to know, like when you think about Shakespeare, when you watched it perform, you were most likely watching a production in like Lower Alabama.
Yeah,
so when you hear Shakespeare, it's hilarious when you think about it that way.
Yeah, love it.
The more you know. It's such an educational space.
See, that is the millennial thing. You immediately in your brain saw the star coming across the screen. And like you, Gen Z, you might not know this shit, but every millennial in their head just saw LeVar Burton say something and then a star come across the screen.
Yep. The more you know. Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
Fun fact. Also, this is good for trivia, guys. This is
There you
like
go.
you're getting your trivia fill.
I will wreck some shit in Jeopardy.
Ooh. So William Shakespeare was born on my birthday and also died on the same day.
Interesting.
Like,
Holy shit.
obviously a different
Wait,
year.
he died on his birthday?
Yes,
Oh
That's
shit.
a bummer.
I
He's
know.
William Shakespeare is in the second book of the trilogy.
Ooh.
Oh my God, we're connected. We just did like 2 degrees of, I don't know. It was like a degree. It's not
It's like
7
seven
degrees.
seven
Like,
degrees of Kevin Bacon.
yeah, but
got-
not because it didn't take us long to get there.
I got
Like,
made fun of in high school for enjoying the Romeo and Juliet unit in English. That was when Facebook was big when I was in high school, and I posted on Facebook like because everyone was bitching about having to read Shakespeare and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of like it. And then the next day in class, this girl was like, "Well, Hannah Griffin really likes it." Like, I guess so.
okay, also badass. That's cool.
Yeah.
I also like Shakespeare.
I am one of the
I
few
loved it.
people that like the Romeo and Juliet movie.
I
Yes.
love that movie. That's one of my. I just rewatched it. It's one of my. Okay, you're talking about the Leo one, right?
The Leo one, yes. It's a
Okay.
really great movie. It's utterly ridiculous, but it should be utterly ridiculous. The
I
whole
love it.
Montagues and Capulets in the modern day was
It's
wonderful.
reimagined. It's
Yes.
creative. We don't have that kind of
And
creativity right
it's
now.
exaggerated to a ridiculous degree.
But you
And
get
it's
it. You
so
truly
fun.
understand like
Yes.
what he's saying. We watched it in English class that year actually because
Yeah.
our teacher
Because of
wanted us
you.
to like. Yeah, right. And now it's like one of my favorite movies. I
for
literally just
president.
watched it.
No, nobody can hate on that movie. I love that movie so much. And like I said, I recognize it's ridiculous, but it was supposed to be ridiculous because, like, I mean, you got to think about the ending. Like, it was just the worst timing. It wasn't
Yeah.
true lovers dying. It was just the worst timing ever.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally, she's just like, he drinks it and is like, oh shit, she's waking up. Fuck, damn it. Like, it was just the worst timing. Yes, with Claire Danes.
Yes,
Claire
with Claire.
Danes. Claire Danes, like, I will tell you, there are 2 women in my life who let me know, like, look, people accuse me of being gay. Let me just say, like, it's 2026. If I wanted to fuck dudes, I'd fuck dudes. Right? Like, my audience would grow, by the way. If I started banging dudes, my audience would skyrocket. But the reality is that there are 2 women who defined for me that I was not gay. And it was Claire Danes, and then it was Haley Williams.
Interesting.
Oh.
She showed up with orange hair, and I put a pillow on my lap so my parents didn't see what was going on. Like, it
So
was
you
like, wow.
You mentioned goth girls earlier. You like alternative girls.
My God, I just want a girl. I just want a girl who it's all leather and it's black lipstick and black hair, and she yells at me. It's like, oh.
There you go. That's how I found my husband.
She could have
honestly.
vampire teeth, like whatever she wants. I'm down. Like, be like that. There was the joke where they were like, some girl was like, you know, the bear versus man thing. Well, she argued. She's like, well, what would you do if you could encounter a bear or a group of witches in the forest? And I was like, they're probably hot goth chicks. So I'm going to go there and be sacrificed because I'm going to hope that it's a sexual sacrifice. But
That's how I got my husband.
I'm going to choose the goth mommies.
Yep, we're the best. I don't look it today, but that's my vibe.
So wait, so for you, it was a phase.
No, not really. I've always been this way. I'm wearing a white t-shirt, but like I'm very alternative. Like
I'm with you.
I wore black lipstick a lot when my husband and I first started dating. Like that whole I was a witch before, not anymore. Still kind of practice a little, but yeah.
I have this simply because a group of 7 witches on TikTok said they were going to cast a spell on me to get me killed.
Oh my God.
And my buddy sent me this. He said it'll protect you.
I can do a protection spell for you.
That's what this was back in the day. They were like, we're gonna cast a spell on you. And I was like, oh no. And my buddy was like, I'm gonna send you this just in case.
Yeah, it's great.
Who sings Evanescence all the time?
Everybody should sing Evanescence.
I mean, nobody can handle those vocals. I won't say nobody, but that would not be my go-to karaoke song. Like,
No, I don't. I don't have a go-to. My go-to karaoke song is what's the song where it's just all music and then they go tequila. Like that's my song.
Like the
Dun,
Pee
dun,
Wee
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
that's
you do
my
dance?
song. What's that?
You have to do the dance, the Pee Wee
Well,
Herman dance.
Well, the last thing I'm not going to be up there singing "My Heart Will Go On." Like that's not going to happen.
Nobody wants to hear that at karaoke. Like
my karaoke song is "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan.
Oh, that's cute.
You're playing into the Asian shit at that point. That's stereotypical as fuck.
Gotta take them where I can get them.
I get it. You rock it where you can. I'm with you 100%. But I'm like I said, my life can be completely upended by a goth chick. So like I told you, men, we're fucking stupid. Like, you know, like I'm sure. Like when I worked on Wall Street, it was so funny because like I would meet people's wives, and they would be like these most elegant, like very very hot bougie women. And I would just be like, "Oh God, I hope we go to a club tonight where some girl spits at me. It'd be lovely."
I can find. I need to look in my circle. I'm sure I could find you one. I've got lots of friends. I wore a black wedding dress, so that's how real I am.
Oh, you were full on goth.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. That's why you still rock the bangs. You got that goth.
Yeah, no, I still am. I'm not dressed for it today. I'm very like summery and cute today, but I'm still real.
Well, she's going with Moana today.
Yes.
But generally she goes with Elvira.
Fact.
I love that though, right? It's like unpredictable, like whatever your mood is. Exactly. We are complex.
It's almost like women are complex and complicated. And men are fucking Neanderthals, so treat us like it.
Okay, guys, my last kind of question is, so going from like LA mayoral race to midterms, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts. I don't know, as we head toward midterm elections, what's your general sense of the political climate right now?
So I would say if you asked me this question 6 months ago, I would tell you that the Republicans were going to get rolled. I would say the Republicans were going to get crushed. And I still think they deserve to be crushed because like I give Trump like a B-, but I give Congress an F. They've done nothing they said they were going to do. And I don't think they deserve to be reelected. But watching Trump's endorsement, watching him go 119-0 in the primaries. He endorsed 119 candidates, 119 of them won. He even defeated, like, let's be real, none of us know who the fuck Ed Gallerine is. We don't know shit about him. Yeah. But Trump said elect him over Massey, the incumbent that everybody knew, and Ed beat his ass.
Yeah.
Right. So I would, like I said, if you asked me this 6 months ago, I'd say Republicans were getting rolled. Now I am overly optimistic. Now, do I think there's a chance we still lose the House? Sure. But we're definitely keeping one chamber of Congress at worst. I think to think that we'd expand our control would be just ridiculous because that's never happened. Like historically, party in power loses in the midterms. So history is working against us. The fact that Congress hasn't done fuck all is working against us. But I will say that the primaries have shown me that Trump is still the kingmaker. He is still the end all be all of how this movement moves, and he controls it. So I am obnoxiously hopeful about how we're going to perform in the midterms. I honestly think it's going to be a historic win in the general sense that we are going to maintain control and the Democrats are going to fail.
Yeah, I agree. I've said it before on the stream, but maybe even 3 months ago, I said that the Republicans were fucked for the midterms. And I did feel that way up until the state, preliminary elections started happening and state elections started, even in Oregon, like I will say the governor that we chose or that the Republicans chose was not great she's run a million times and like never won, so I don't know why we picked her again. But we shot down 2 of the tax measures that were on the ballot, and a lot of people were complaining about it, even from the left. I saw there's like a gas tax measure and something else. But I think people are I think people are sick of it. I think people are seeing what's happened in blue states and blue cities, and they're kind of waking up and realizing like, oh yeah, we, fill out our ballot, we go vote, we can actually maybe change some things. And I wasn't hopeful about that before these elections, but since seeing how things have kind of started shaking out, I'm definitely more hopeful.
Yeah, no, that's consistent with like we've been talking about midterms for a while, for months on the stream, and it has been like conservatives, Republicans have been worried about it for sure. So it is interesting to hear that and chat weigh in as well. I mean, this is a good point that I agree with Brendan. The only thing Dems got going for them is hate Trump. It's getting way too old. I agree. I don't know why there's not more bag of tricks going on. It is literally just like they're just hoping that Trump fails, and they're just like riding that wave, and they'll just like shoot down anything and everything that he does. Like he can't do anything right. And that's like, it is. I agree. It's old. I think it's old as well. Do you think here's my, I guess, sort of my concern is because I do feel like there is some fatigue going on, and people are sort of just exhausted and tired and frustration, especially in terms of like, affordability and the economy and sort of this tone deaf thing about, whatever, when it comes to gas prices and how no one could afford houses and any of that. So there is like, I think there is a bit of a like lack of trust in a way, and people.
But I have to say in response to that, just real quickly, that most like we have to remember that just because there's a loud minority online talking about how they can't afford things or how they're broke, I will say that what I've found in my audience is that most of us are doing pretty fucking good. Like we're not freaking out over gas prices. We're not freaking out over grocery prices. Like is home affordability a problem? Absolutely. But it has been for a very, like, this is not a new problem, right? Like we recognize that housing prices are inflated because the government wants it to be. Housing interest rates are inflated because the Fed won't lower the rates, because they're based on the 10-year bond markets, and the bond markets won't move. But most of us, at least most people I know in my life, shit's good. Like we're good. Like my bills aren't killing me. I don't look at my account on a daily basis. I don't worry about the price of milk. Most of us are doing okay. It's only the political minority online yelling about everything that makes us feel like shit's unaffordable. I can tell you, I don't look at the price of shit. I buy what I want. And I think that's how most Americans are operating.
I agree. I think that is a little bit more common than we're made to believe it is. And, it's anecdotal evidence. I'm basing it off a lot of like TikToks and social media posts I've seen, but there's a lot of people who are coming onto TikTok and saying like, listen, I understand the economy, might not be great on paper right now, but not everybody is struggling. Like not everybody, is kind of in this whole like struggle mentality of like, shit's so bad that, we need to do something right away. Like, I'm sure that there are people like that, but there are always people like that. And generally people who are pretty successful and, have normal jobs and stuff right now, they're keeping their heads above water. They're not struggling as we're made to believe. It's probably a lot of, low wage, minimum wage workers, people on SNAP and EBT and stuff. And that's not the majority of people.
Like if you're broke, chances are you're a lazy bitch. Like I'm just being real with you. If you're worried about the price of milk and you're like, well, eggs went up $1. Look, fucking, you sound like a broke person. All right. And the benefit is we see people in the chat who are obviously delusional as fuck saying things like MAGA is less than 20% of the population. It was enough of the population to elect him. So, I mean, suck all the D's at that point. Because, like, the reality is, like, we need to live in the same reality. Is shit more expensive than we'd like it to be? 100%. I'd love shit to be really cheap. That'd be wonderful. But if we're looking at existing as a nation, we're looking at existing as people. I live on, I mean, I could survive on probably $1,500 a month because shit's just not that expensive. It doesn't throw off my life.
Well,
I
and
think
social
that
media, people like there's an image that people want to uphold, right? And like this consumerism like trend, I think, especially among younger people, is like they want the newest Lululemon, they want the everything from Sephora, they want DoorDash, it's like, yeah, those things are expensive, but you don't need them. It's bullshit that you can cut out if you're really truly broke. Like people are broke by their choices, not by the economy, I think.
Well, like a good example that the economy is doing well, and this is something people like to ignore. Uber Eats, what's the other one? Grubhub and whatever it is, right? Those the
DoorDash, Seamless, right? Yeah.
So those apps have seen a 400% increase in usage. Now, that is not something that broke people do. Broke people don't pay $20 to have their Starbucks coffee brought to them in the morning, right? So when I see apps that massively overcharge you, by the way, go up 400%, that is not the behavior of a broke population. So when somebody comes online and they're like, life's really hard, and I'm like, yes, because you have a gender studies degree that you owe $180,000 on, and you work at fucking Starbucks. Yeah, life's hard when you're stupid. Like, life is really tough when you're a fucking moron. But for those of us just working normal jobs, living normal life, it's okay. It's not wonderful. I'm not taking 6 vacations this year, but if I wanted to go to Disney, I could afford to. And I think that's how most people live their lives. Like, not everyone gets to ball out. You get the ball out if you create a great idea and create great value. The rest of you get a vacation a year. You get to take care of your family. You get to provide for them. They get to live a good life. They maybe get to go to private school. That is life. Not everyone gets to be a princess.
I'm consistently asking myself the question, does anyone work anymore? Because I just feel like no matter, I don't know if it's because I had the New York experience and I have the Florida experience, and I felt it in both places. Obviously, I don't know, there's a hustle in New York, and I know a lot of people were going to work, but I'm always like, I don't know, right now there's always traffic there. The grocery stores, no matter, like, traffic all times of day, like grocery stores are full no matter where I go because I have a flexible schedule. So, I'm just like, how are there so many people out? Does anyone? So I don't know. Part of me is like, are people just racking up credit card debt and filing for bankruptcy? And is that how they're doing it?
I actually saw a video of somebody complaining about the economy on TikTok. And then I went back through their videos, and through this year already, this person has gone to Florida on vacation. They've gone to Washington State on vacation, and they're planning a trip overseas on vacation. And then they made a video talking about how much they're struggling. Because it's not real struggling. Like, if you've traveled the world, you know what struggling looks like.
Right.
You know what being broke actually looks like. But the American version of it is, I might only be able to go to Europe for a week instead of 2. And it's like, I don't respect that as broke.
Yeah, I hear you. No, it's really interesting because we have been talking about this a lot, and a lot, it is about no one can own a house, or well, I know nobody can own a house anyway, but I know I saw everything, property taxes.
Well, we just got rid of we're getting rid of property tax this year in Florida.
Fantastic. I don't, yeah. I mean, I rent, so, but I know everyone rents for now.
Bullshit. I pay $0 a month for my house.
Nice. Congratulations.
I love it. I bought it many years ago and now I don't pay shit. I love it.
Fantastic. No, that's great. That's amazing. But yeah, so anyway, it's interesting because it's come up a lot. Obviously, we talk about gas prices, grocery prices. It's definitely changed. It's different in terms of being if you wanted to own a house, things like that. So yeah, I just like hearing people's different perspectives and experiences. I did want to see real quick. The chat was saying, oh, LA only counted 11,000 votes today. They're carefully nitpicking, trying to make sure Pratt isn't there in November.
They are doing everything they can to make sure Nithya catches up.
Ugh, don't. And Greek said I could go for some karaoke. We should do karaoke. I know. Karaoke's fun. However it's spelled. Okay. Americans are at the lowest level.
Just so you know, if you do karaoke, my connection will cut out. I will. Oh my God, my internet cut out. It's so wild. I just don't want you to be surprised when I fucking run to the hills.
So basically, I said all that and got into that, people being kind of checked out, frustrations, fatigue, etc. To be like, do we think that people are going to be more politically engaged or checked out compared to previous election?
No, we're going to see so much checking out.
Yeah.
The excitement of the last election, that was peak political involvement. It was a guy that we tried to send to prison and ruin his life and convict him of all. This is why, look, I'm going to say something that's going to upset probably a lot of anybody who's conservative. They get upset anytime I say this. The next president of the United States is going to be Gavin Newsom. I know. But here's the reality. We have reached
conservative, and I'm mad.
We have reached peak political engagement under Trump, right? In the next election, say we put forward Marco Rubio and Anna Paulina Luna, right? Great candidates, wonderful, right? But let me ask you this. Say it's Anna Paulina Luna and Marco Rubio versus Gavin Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer, right? Because that's who he's going to pick as his VP. So we go out there. Do you think that people will be more excited to vote for Marco Rubio than they were for Donald Trump?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, the GOP is incapable of putting forth a candidate that actually is supported by the majority of people on their side or who would vote for that person.
No, but I just mean the excitement,
right?
To vote
well, yeah,
because of what
no,
happened.
I totally agree with you. It's like Trump did that himself. It wasn't because the GOP was backing him. It wasn't because any of that. He steamrolled all of that, and that's where the excitement came from. Whoever is the next bullshit candidate that the GOP puts up is like going to go back to the same like snooze fest that the Republicans have been. Trump really shook things up for the party, but after he's gone, there's no one else who's going to do that.
No, and then to back that up, do you think that Gavin Newsom will do a better job campaigning than Kamala Harris? Like Kamala Harris had 6 months. Gavin Newsom's got 4 years to work on this shit.
And he's not as much of a blatant fucking idiot as she was.
He's also not drunk half the fucking time. Because Kamala Harris was very obviously fucking shit-faced drunk a lot of the time. But so he's a better candidate than her. Right? So now we have less energy on the right. We have more energy on the left. And here's the reality. Kamala Harris embraced the left. She embraced the craziest shit to get votes. Gavin Newsom recognizes, hey, even though those people are batshit fucking crazy, they're never going to vote for a Republican. So I got their vote. So he's going to play the moderate. He's going to play to the moderate. So what you have is you have an election where the energy from the right has gone massively down. The energy from the left has gone massively up. You have a better candidate. You have somebody who's focused on moderates. And at the end of the day, getting Gretchen Whitmer your VP guarantees you her state. So in that election, Republicans can't win.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree.
Well, I would love Marco Rubio and Anna Paulina Luna to win because, first of all, Anna Paulina Luna is my rep. And the only reason I can't run for office is because there's no fucking way I'm beating her. So I would love her to go to be the vice president because then I could run for her spot. But right now, there's no way I'm running against a woman who's insanely hot, brilliant, wonderful, and conservative. Like, bitch, go be vice president.
Well, this is going to be really fun to play back. Like this clip, it's good. We'll see how it ages, and you might have made some bold predictions here.
If he picks Gretchen Whitmer as his VP, I'm replaying everything I've ever said about it and cartwheeling across the screen.
Yeah, as you should. Well, guys, this has been amazing. I could talk to you all night. I thank you so much for your time. We're over 2 hours here. Mm-hmm. Incredible. I want to give you guys a chance to promo, shout out anything. You guys rock. This has been so much fun. I like I said, I could talk to you forever. Hannah, everyone follow Hannah at Yeah Right Girl HG. Hannah's here every Thursday on Bold Voices, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hannah, thank you so much for being here. Joe, anything you want to shout out? Where can people follow you? What do you want to promote? Your book, all that jazz.
So here's what I will promo. There are more than enough people who follow me, more than enough people who engage with me. You guys should be following both of these women. You should be following Angela. Here's the thing. Buy into the bold lib, get mad about the shit she does to rage bait you, run with it, love it. You should be following Hannah. She's wonderful. If you have a problem with her, she's autistic and you get to write it off about that. It's perfectly fine. You should be following these two ladies. You should be following what they do. There are more than enough people who know how I am, who know who I am, know how I am, and engage with me. Follow these two ladies. Let them do their thing. Let's make them bigger than me because they do a much better job than me. I just yell at my phone.
No, you're awesome. I appreciate you. I love how you keep it real. And I'm so glad that you were here. I had visions of you coming to do a podcast interview in person. Hopefully that will still happen in the future.
I'm happy to. I literally will come across I-4. I will brave I-4 to hang out with you in person.
That, for people who don't know I-4, they don't know how big of a deal that is. I do. I-4 do. Anyways, yeah. No, we'll definitely get together. We're in the same state. We're neighbors. It's awesome. Anyway, I'm so happy. It's been too long, but thank you so much. I've had so much fun. Thank you for bringing your awesome squad of awesome people.
And here's the thing. Anytime you want to have me, I'm there. I'm happy to do it. I love doing shows. I am a media whore. I am completely happy to do it. So if you ever need a fill in, you ever need somebody to piss people off, let me know. I'll be there.
Thank you, but you're not pissing me or anyone off right now, so I don't know about that. But
I know Josh in the chat. Josh in the chat is gonna beat all furiously to this later.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Good for you. That's a win. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Good night. All the love.
Bye.
You guys rock. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Bold chat, you guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for coming. Joe's squad crowd, it was so nice to have you here and get to meet you guys. You were so lovely, and I really appreciated all of your comments and thoughts and feedback and questions and input this entire time. It's been great. It's been so much fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm really, really happy to connect with all of you. It's been a really, really fun night, and I needed it. And I hope if you did too, that you had a great time with us. Those two are so fun to talk to, and I just love, hearing everyone's thoughts and experiences and how open everyone is to sharing. That's nice, Greek. Thank you so much. I want to see real quick. No, don't block Joe. Joe's a good time. Be open to Joe rocks. I'm gonna shout out to the hostess with the mostest, my favorite journalist and finest political pundit in Florida, Angela. I tip my hat to you. Thank you, Greek. Appreciate you. Fun show as always, kids. Thank you, Traveling Fools. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the love. Thank you, amazing show. All right, you guys rock. Thank you so much. You are incredible. A new follower. Love it. Thank you, Steph. Thank you guys so much. So Bold Voices, we're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We do the live stream. Tuesdays, we kind of chat about current events and headlines. And Thursday, we usually have a special guest like Joe tonight. And do a little bit of an interview mixed with current events and hot topics. So, but we always love having our chat. Couldn't do it without you. Appreciate the love and support. Please subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. There's a whole bunch of podcast interviews on there from the past, all the live streams you can check out. Again, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Couldn't do it without all of you. So thankful to Hannah and Joe for being here tonight. And all the love, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great night. And that's it. Stay bold.